and you can sign up. In fact, I'll drop you guys a link in the chat right now. thegentleman'sleague.net/team sign up. If you want to participate in TGL, 4 teams will get into the tournament. You got to fight through the qualifiers, and then we're going to have the main tournament. Check that out. thegentleman'sleague.net/team-sign up if you guys want to get in on the action and perhaps your split of the $1,750 prize pool and growing. And for those of you who have donated to the prize pool and to help run and manage TGL, we really appreciate it. And thanks to Seeds also for coming out and running all the production work and making the picks and bans graphic. We're going to be working on that. Seeds, why don't you, where you at? Where, if someone was like, man, I want to watch Evolve on Twitch, and I in particular want to watch Seeds because this egotistical blue-shirted, big-haired caster, he's not my style. I want to go watch someone who's a little bit less of a jerk. Well, where can they find you, Seeds?
If you want to find me, I'm browsing around. I'm all over the place, but my channel is twitch.tv/aceeds. You can always follow me on Twitter and whatnot and all that jazz, which is also available if you want to go to that page. It's in the links and that sort of stuff. But so if you want to find me, that's where I am. If you want to find Shampoo, he's at twitch.tv/StealthShampoo. And of course, you're on Twitter at @StealthShampoo, I believe is yours, right?
Yeah, Stealth Shampoo is everything.
Yeah.
My Instagram, my YouTubes, all that stuff. So if you guys want to check that out, go ahead. But I'm sure you already know who I am because I'm so important. See, there's the egotistical part I was talking about just a minute ago. Anyway, on the field, Bugsy's playing Bob.
So, well, first thing we should take a look at right now is the skill build for a Stage 1 Bob. We see a 1-point Lava Bomb, 1-point Fissure, 1-point Rock Wall, which means he wants to be able to protect himself and mitigate as much as possible against a non-Cabot composition, which is a key thing. So he's going to be able to deal damage, Rock Wall to stop Hank from being able to shield, and then he'll be able to just deal damage and roll and spam people and beat the crap out of people. Now, if we look at the perks, we're going to see that damage output was chosen on Bugsy, so he's going to have that extra damage on Bob. We see damage reduction being used on the Assault. We have reload on Kyra. We have capacity being used on Hank, and we have reload as well being used on Jack. So with Kyra and Jack both having reload, that means that they're going to be able to use their abilities as much quicker. So Kyra's going to be able to pump out those healing grenades and not having to wait in between shots as much, while Jack's going to be able to recharge that repulsor beam, which means people are going to take less damage. As of course we look at Rune, who's running damage reduction. So as an Assault, he'll be able to stand in front of Bob and just tank as much as he can until he can't tank anymore, which is a great conceptual lineup. As you see, Bob is just rolling on water right now like Jesus. I didn't know that was possible.
Map, actually. Yeah, he's actually out of the map for a split second right there.
I didn't even know you could do that. That's actually a new one for me.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of time you can spend outside of the map. It'll just drain your health if you spend too long outside of it.
I'm just talking about the rolling on water like Jesus.
Oh, the rolling on water. Yeah, that's new. That's new. I did not know that was part of the title update. This is new information to me as well.
So we're looking at that, and we're also seeing one thing that you may have noticed if you haven't been in the Evolve scene for a while, is that there's new pings coming out right now. If we look at Rune right now, if you look back, you see the blue one there. It just means passive wildlife. We might see a ping here coming out to do this as well. We see the domes actually being thrown, which means enough about the accessibility options as we go into this. Bob is in the dome, ready to fight. Going to be using the caves to his advantage right here on this side. And Jack's going to put up his satellite. Just says, you know what? You can stand in there. I'll just hit you with the satellite. It's fine. And right now, Bugsy's going to be able to dodge it. And he dodged the satellite.
At one point, though, in Rock Wall, which is generally not helpful in open areas, but this is a tight enough area where if he wants to use Rock Wall, he absolutely can and try to keep the Assault away. I don't think he should try to focus him right now.
Getting a little bit of lava berm on that corner, getting able to protect himself as much as he can. Toxic Grenade being used, hits the wall though. It doesn't mean that he's going to be forced out of the hole. Hank's shields are going to be keeping Rune up, so he doesn't have to blow the personal shield. Nightwave's dealing damage and just using those pistols because he doesn't have to worry about strafing slowdown while he's shooting. And we're looking at this right now. We have Red Panda in the middle ground. Excellent damage coming out. Everyone's on full offense at this point. Even Kyra's getting out those flame grenades on Bugsy as he's just trying to mitigate damage as much as possible. They know he's mitigating. They're going to be shooting and dealing damage as much as they can do. A little bit of damage being done. Suddenly, Red Panda's now healing. So it's not any new situation for them. Bugsy's now on the run. He's looking to get as much space as possible at this point. However, he's losing the majority of his traversal by starting with these ledges. So we'll have to see what he does. Rockwall being tossed behind to try and slow down Rune. Rune actually is forced to go around. He's actually going to wait until the Rockwall dissipates and go around. Actually, no, he changed his mind and went around this way. But
yeah,
that's
that
a great
one Rockwall, that's a slight nuisance. One in Rockwall pops up right in front of you. You're just like, oh, great. Now I have to walk 5 feet to the left or 5 feet to the right to try to get around that. One in Rockwall doesn't really do too much as far as slowing hunters down. But it looks like Bugsy might want to take a stage soon, and there he is, taking the stage. That dome is on cooldown, so he will be able to escape with his 20% armor that he's granted for evolving. And potentially feed up a little bit, get full armor, and then take the fight to these hunters. 2-ton grab, 2 rock wall. Not a bad set. Gonna try to pull people in, cut the beam from Hank, and then beat these hunters down. Once he's ready, though, he does want to get a little bit of armor. Bob, much more tanky now while he's rolling. He has all limb. Those are armor plates while he's rolling now, so that's going to reduce the hunter's damage. In fact, the bullet-based hunters are going to generally be doing less damage to Bob. That would be pretty much Jack and Hank, I believe. Does Hank ignore? Hank does not ignore limb modifiers.
Hank does not ignore.
He gets headshots, so
yeah,
that does not ignore, obviously. Rune does ignore
it's
limb
like energy
multipliers.
weapons. Hank's is a plasma cutter, so it's like cutting. It's like a bullet, basically. It's like a really fast bullet.
Oh, now we're getting into the science here.
Well,
this
that's what plasma is, right? There's like solids,
cutters.
there's like solids, there's liquids, gases, then plasma. So like you superheat a gas and it becomes a plasma. That's what lightsabers are made of, man.
So, pretty much, Hank is launching lightsabers at Bob, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
That's more badass than I originally thought he was. That's kind of awesome.
Little tiny lightsabers.
But those lightsabers do get headshot and limb multipliers. So Hank and Jack are going to be doing less damage to Bob, while Kyra is actually doing more damage to Bob because she has napalm nades that aren't bullet-based, and they actually got a damage buff by 10 damage or something like that. Which I think is just kind of funny. They did that to mostly...
Here we go. We're in the dome. We're in the Thunderdome. Everything's being tongue grabbed and stealth pounced, burning everything. Nightwing's trying to use the repulsor to stop him, but it's not enough to stop Bob. Bob's able to do what he wants. He's a honey badger in this situation. He doesn't care at all. And he's just going to mitigate right now, use the high ground disadvantage, put up a rock wall, and say, come at me, bros. The satellite's coming in, going to actually deal some damage. And here comes the Lightwing dealing damage, stealth pounce, and oh my no, is this going to be the down? Here we go. There comes the punch. Down goes Nightwing.
That was a little bit of an overextension by Nightwing. Of course, he did get tongued in, but he got tongued in with no support whatsoever. You always got to be ready to have someone pull you in if they're playing Bob, and have Hank close behind for that shield. The wall was already up on the opposite side, so they didn't have to worry about Jack being walled away. And Hank was just a little bit out of position right there, resulting in a down penalty for
that was
their
cute.
trapper.
He
Nice
smelled
roll
Rune,
right
knew he was there, and then immediately just threw up the wall. Throws up a fissure, trying to snipe him over the wall. Not quite able to do it, and Rune right now is on his own. However, Spanish should be in a position to get him in case he gets stealth pounced, which is nice. Rune right now is actually...
Here. There's the repulse, though. That's what I was talking about earlier. Repulse the rolls and the heavies away, because those are painful and have a good amount of CC to them. Bob's still on the roll. Probably going to put up a wall behind him. Yep, there's that wall.
And the little tiny lightsaber is going to be poking him in the back up until that wall. So that was a good wall to put up, make sure he didn't take any more health damage, as he was just about out of armor.
And we got a couple Reavers right here. He's going to want to armor back up Bob with his 5,000 point armor pool here at stage 2.
Only 5,000?
Is it 5,000 now?
I don't even know anymore. It's hard to keep track of something so big.
Yeah, I used to know how many health bars and armor bars everything had, but they've changed so many times that I just forget the values and shoot at the monster till it's dead. How much health does it have? I don't know.
Well,
I'm going to shoot it until it's 0.
Has like, let's see, I'm trying to think.
Less than Bob.
It's like, total health pool and everything is like 14,000, I think. I'd have to look at the numbers again. I have them somewhere.
Somewhere around there at stage 3.
I have to look these up in between games. I gotta remember this stuff now. But yeah, we are seeing more of these pinks coming. They're keeping themselves in a constant distance. Nightwing, while we're obsessing about his health pool, is actually staying within 60-meter distance, which is great map traversal. As he was cutting across over on this way, Nightwing did a little cut through here and was able to keep himself within that distance just by traversing the map appropriately. If you look at Rune and how they're setting up here, this is a common setup where you have 3 on this side and you put the assault here. That way you can spot everything. You see that everything's being used by the assault, is trying to deal as much damage as possible with Rune. And as soon as Bugsy decides to go west, they're going to dome him. If he goes east, they're just going to follow him. This is the situation. He has to burn his way past the assault without the assault knowing, which is why you're seeing him stealth. And he almost got past with Bob, right past Rune, but it's not enough. There's the pillar. Wasn't able to break line of sight, and off he goes into a 3-pack of Mammoth Birds. 1 shock, 2 shock. Neither one of them hits. So the Mammoth Birds did let him live. That was a little
dangerous. Yeah, at the mercy of the Mammoth Birds, that would have been an instant behemoth down right there and a hunter win. Unless the Mammoth Birds win for them next.
Yeah. So the Mammoth Birds are also the 3rd victory condition in the map. There's the, the fighting, so if one side dies, there's the relay, and then there's if Mammoth Birds kill everyone.
Yeah, and of course, when Mammoth Birds kill everyone, you're just at the Mammoth Birds' mercy right there.
Yeah.
You have no way to control that. If the Mammoth Birds decide that they want to win the match, they will win the match. Rune actually caught pretty far out of position. I saw his other 300 friends pretty far off. He split by himself, and if he would have got pounced right there, that would have been a little bit of trouble. Of course, he would have had his personal shield, but Rune would have got beat down quite a bit before his Hunter team got up
like a
and
good
close
like
to him.
70, 60 meters away right now. Like, it's a good distance, and he's just trying to get as much. Bugsy's just trying to get space right now. As he's like, you know what? I'm tired of you, Rune. I'm trying to eat. You're not letting me eat. Let a fat boy be a fat boy, right?
Oh yeah, Bob's got to get his donuts.
Yep.
He is very, very hungry right now. Not full on armor, and he's going to have to engage the hunters, or he'll get caught in a stage 3 low armor dome. You want to put that dome on cooldown while you're evolving so you get domed
this
right
isn't really
out
a
of
great
the
spot to
stage.
be in right now because it has a large amount of terrain changes. Oh, and the Armadon's actually following
Armadon.
way out of spot. And he's going to roll his way across on the water again, just like he did last time, going to use it as much as possible. Getting slowed down a bit by the terrain with the slight changes, but overall he'll just be able to traverse in a straight line, just get as much as he can. Doesn't care about the acid, just says, you know what, I got armor, I can tank it.
And the thing is, Bob has the only not bursty traversal out of all the monsters. So when Bugsy is rolling like that, straight in one line using all of his traversal, that's how you gain the maximum amount of distance. The only way that could have been better is if he was rolling downhill.
Yeah, you can traverse 148 meters, I believe was the measurement, for like a full behemoth roll in a straight line.
Which is pretty ridiculous.
Oh, Nightwing gets
no,
grabbed!
that's dangerous.
Oh, the Mega Mouth, which means Bob's going to be able to run, maybe, possibly. It means he's not going to be taking damage, that's for sure, as much.
Going to get the catch here, and he does get the catch. That's a beautiful loop cutoff right there. They had the ping on Bob. They knew exactly where he was. Through the dome, no loop, and Bob is forced to fight in an open area.
And Bob does get hit by the satellite, which means he takes that little bit of damage extra. And right now we see that Red Panda's in like a tough corner right now to get away from Bob, but Nightwing comes in with the last second save with the repulsor beam. Red Panda's the one, the low ground, having to burn the traversal. Lava Surge being used, everything's being used. 3-point tongue grab going straight for Red Panda, trying to get her down, but not able to do so. Has to switch targets, ends up switching targets and going for Nightwing, trying to get over it. But Spanners is on point with the shields. Tongue grab actually gets switched back to Red Panda, not able to connect. The Spanners switch targets as well. Rune's at half HP. Everyone's just dealing damage. Let's switch camera out of the tree, and right now we have a rolled Behemoth. I'm rather angry, going straight for Rune, switches over to Nightwing. Going to be trying to focus him down. We see more of these pulses. Spanners is actually getting focused, and he's down to about half HP. However, more of these heals are going to be coming up for Kyra as we have a half-health Behemoth fighting away, doing what he can to try and get as much damage as possible. And he's going to be punching. Rune's getting low. Does not have his personal shield anymore because he just used it, so he's going to be keeping himself alive at this moment. Nightwing using the repulsion beam to keep himself alive, because he's going to keep the Behemoth from being able to reach him. Does actually get the punch in on Spanish, so Spanish is low, and I believe he burned his cloak there, if I spotted that correctly. Nope, he's not cloaked, so he's just low. And we see Bugsy is going right for him, throws up the Lava Surge, does connect on Spanish, going to get some burn damage. More of these tongue grabs getting in. This is pandemonium going on, and down goes Jack, which means Spanish is off in the corner. And we have right now Rune on the high ground, getting really low, does not have his personal shield, so if he drops down on Behemoth, that is going to be a strike. Oh, and it just nope, Hank Shield's coming in. And we have
Rune
a Rune
is really, really low here, trying to get Hank down to get those shields off
and there
of Jack.
goes the personal shield, just getting off cooldown, using it immediately to keep himself alive.
And of course, if he manages to focus down Jack here, he won't have to commit to the next dome. But does Bugsy have enough health to finish Jack off? Jack is really, really low right here.
Oh man, these saves coming in, heal grenades being tossed, everything's being done. He even is going to move the body so that they can't do it. He wants Jack off the table. So he's going to be able to do what he can to try and break it.
Red Panda is doing a great job spamming those heal nades, and I think that's a little bit attributed to the reload perk helping out right there. Kyra can get a heal burst through the wall right there to continue to try to keep Jack online, and Hyde actually pushed away into the water thanks to the roll right there. Oh, Bob might go down right here. Just a couple more shots from Hank. Get a couple good headshots in there, or I guess Behemoth heart shots.
Is he going to get out?
Might actually
Is he getting out? Oh my god, he got out with that! That's such commitment to make sure that Nightwing was not around. Gonna grab some quick armor so he doesn't get chipped away with that chip damage. So he has now 3 bars of armor and a little bit over the top. And he's gonna be able to run away, get armor, and he's gonna be able to completely disengage. Oh no, he's choosing to go back in. Oh yeah, because they don't have dome anymore. They can't keep him around.
Of course, no domes and 2 down penalties on Jack, so when Jack does get boots on the ground once again, he will be super, super squishy. So if Bugsy wants, he can utilize the Behemoth's massive armor pool to take down Jack, go back in, pick at the Hunters. Now, the thing is, he has no down penalties on any other Hunters, which means their sustain is going to be a lot greater or still great, I should say. Jack, of course,